Hello, welcome to Political Empire. This is Jeff Horseman with the Press Enterprise and PE.com, and today's show is going to discuss a lawsuit by the city of Riverside against the state of California. And then the Republican Party of Riverside County has taken a stance against a program or doctrine, or people have various ways of describing it, but it generally has to do with sustainable development. So first, after months of limbo over a $32 million former redevelopment debt, Riverside officials have sued to try to resolve their dispute with the state. The disagreement has delayed the city's plans for a railroad quiet zone that would silence train horns and a planned overhaul of Villegas Park and the community center there. In the suit against the State Department of Finance, the city argues that it should be allowed to build $13.6 million worth of projects. It also contends that about $18.5 million in loans from various city funds to its former redevelopment agency are permitted debts that should be paid under state law, under the state law that ended redevelopment in 2012. Now on to something called Agenda 21, and the Republican Party of Riverside County has taken an official stance against a program backed by the United Nations that sets construction standards that incorporate more environmental friendly development, such as greater use of natural life and less corrosive materials. And here to talk about the Republican Party and the stance they took is our Temecula reporter, Nelsie Rodriguez. So, Nelsie, why are local Republicans against Agenda 21?
Well, not all Republicans are against Agenda 21. There is a small group within the countywide Republican Party who feel that it is an infringement on personal property rights to set these kinds of standards for development. So it's kind of a fraction from the Tea Party movement that came about during the middle of President Obama's first term, and it has since been going on this whole time. The residents from Southwest Riverside County cities have been going for a couple of years now to their various city councils, asking their city councils not to require sustainable development standards of developers. So the standards are mostly things like, like you mentioned, using natural light, building the buildings to best use of the environment, including things like rooftop gardens to try to bring down heating costs and air conditioning costs, and using more sustainable or less corrosive materials, building materials.
All right.
So they've been campaigning, trying to stay away from that tree. It's proposed by the United Nations, and the cities out here have adopted that because they are looking toward more environmentally friendly development.
Okay. Can you talk a little more about why there's this concern about these standards, like, why they're concerned about the impact they would have on them, and, I don't know, maybe their property rights, their quality of life? I mean, what's the great concern about Agenda 21?
The big concern is that it's a global initiative that is being enforced locally. The people who have spoken out against it feel that it's not appropriate for a local government to be imposing global rules on development. So it's essentially they want to keep they want to decide how they build, where they build, when they build, on their own without having to agree to terms that have been kind of pushed by the United Nations. And the reason the United Nations did this is to encourage more conscientious development in third world countries. So they looked to the United States and other first world nations to establish the best practices in development, and it's to encourage this kind of development in still upcoming nations. But here in the United States, where we value freedom of everything at a very high standard, some people feel that it's inappropriate to be using those standards.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your explanation, Nelsie. Appreciate your time. And thank you, as always, for watching Political Empire. We'll see you next time.